Andy Mack is a native of Longview. He's a board-certified oral maxillofacial surgeon with an active practice in Longview. Prior to his election as mayor, Dr. Mack previously served on the City Council for District 4 from 1997 through 2005. Dr. Mack is a graduate of Longview High School. He received his Bachelor of Science in Biology from Stephen F. Austin University and a Doctorate of Dental Surgery from Baylor College of Dentistry. He completed his surgical residency at the University of Texas Health Science Center in Houston. Andy and his wife Kelly have 3 adult children, Spencer, Madison, and Luke. Andy has been involved in numerous community efforts, including Lear Park development and various not-for-profit efforts. Dr. Mack was elected mayor of Longview in May of 2015 and already in his short time has focused on the heart of Longview. One way being through the start of the first ever mayor-initiated citywide book club, which began this fall featuring the book titled The Go-Giver. Dr. Mack is not aware of this, but we have a brief video to play from one of the authors, Bob Berg.
Hi, I'm Bob Berg, co-author with John David Mann of The Go-Giver. And Mayor Mack doesn't know that I'm doing this. A little birdie told me about this State of the City address, and I asked if I could pop by to say hello. You know, every so often there comes along a political leader who's much more about leadership than they are about politics, and such is Mayor Andy Mack. He certainly understands that great leadership is never about the leader. Who is it about? It's about those people whose lives you choose to touch. It's about those people whose lives you choose to add value to, and that embodies Mayor Mack. I believe he's exactly who our founding fathers had in mind when they coined the term citizen legislator. That person who comes in after already having been successful both personally and in business and now takes the time to serve. So I just want to say hello, and of course how honored John David Mann and I are that The Go-Giver was chosen as the first book selection for Mayor Mack's book club. So thank you so very much. It's an honor indeed. So have a great State of the City address. I wish each and every one of you an absolutely fantastic day. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Andy Mack.
You're right, I had no idea that was coming. Thank you for being here. What a wonderful crowd we have to talk about our city. I'm humbled to be here before you. I want you to know that I have a passion for this city. I have a desire to be a go-giver. I've been so encouraged by the feedback from the citizens of this community and their involvement. Public service is a lot like a puzzle. It takes a lot of pieces to fit together to make it all come into something visible. And that's what we're here for today, to fit those pieces of the puzzle together, to bring this community into vision. I'm overwhelmed by the volunteers that are doing great things for this city. Great examples of a go-giver mindset. Let's discuss the comprehensive plan. In March of 2015, the City Council adopted a comprehensive plan as a long-term planning document for the growth of our city, including parks, transportation, economic development, infrastructure, public safety, and neighborhood livability. Community members were asked to envision what would you like Longview to be like in 15 to 20 years? I want to know, what do you want Longview to be like in 5 years? Because that's what I'm here to do for you, to put us where we want to be in the next few years. Public input was garnered via committees, subcommittees, community meetings, surveys, meetings with schools and various civic groups. The great work resulted in a Longview in Longview being a finalist in the 2015 Texas Comprehensive Planning Award, which will be announced Friday. Fingers crossed for Longview. This plan is active. It's a living document. It cannot just sit on the shelf. We have related projects already included into this year's budget that will start furthering this comprehensive plan, including creation of a United Development Code and property maintenance codes. Part of the focus of the new LEDCO board is to implement this comprehensive plan as part of our economic development. Because if we are not willing to invest our money in our community, we cannot expect others to come and invest their money in our community. I'm a firm believer in this. There are great things being accomplished in Longview due to many great volunteer efforts. The Great Texas Balloon Race volunteers hosted the U.S. National Hot Air Balloon Championship for the 4th consecutive year and final year of that. But don't worry, the Great Texas Balloon Race will be back again next year. We just won't have the national championships here. The T-Bone Walker Blues Festival was hosted for the 2nd year in Longview, and the event continues to grow, and it showcases blues music here in this community. Downtown live concerts are being held every Friday night in October and in April in the Heritage Plaza. It's a great way for our citizens to get together and connect, and it's free. Come out and enjoy the festivities in October and in April. Our entryways have been improved due to volunteer efforts. One example is the Green. The Green is a 9-acre park under construction at Highway 31 near the entrance of South Street, which will include walking trails, pavilions, play areas, local art, and more. In 2013, the Keep Longview Beautiful was honored with the Governor's Achievement Award, which included a $270,000 entryway grant for this project. In 2015, the Keep Longview Beautiful received $400,000 in matching grants from Texas Parks and Wildlife. The city, LEDCO, Gregg County, and private donations all have contributed to this project. Funding is always ongoing. Another great project led by volunteers is the Veterans Plaza at Teague Park. This is led by the Veterans Recognition Foundation to construct veterans memorials at Teague Park. Plans include memorials to the World War II, Vietnam, Korea, Cold War conflicts, MIA, POW, 9/11, Iraq, Afghanistan, and the various military service branches. Several of these memorials are already in place, and fundraising is ongoing for more. Our veterans are often overlooked in our community, and they have their big opening on November the 7th. If you'd like to help them achieve their goals, please visit veteransrecognitionfoundation.org. Let's not forget about those who have sacrificed more for us than we ever will. Another great volunteer-led initiative is the Miracle League Field at Lear Park. Volunteer-led efforts by Miracle League of East Texas are constructing a fully accessible baseball field for children with special abilities. Groundbreaking was held in August of 2015. The group has already raised more than $500,000 towards this project. The field is set to be named in honor of longtime Longview Ambucks member Gene Allen, who was very instrumental in the development of the Amtrike therapeutic tricycle. Allow me to take a few moments to share some of the other great things that are happening in Longview. One of the baseball fields at Lear Park was recently named in honor of late LBBA volunteer Charles Williams. The city has partnered with Paula Martin Jones to provide access to Paula Martin Jones Rec Center for the Thrive 360 youth program. We have completed many long and overdue upgrades to Stamper Park, including improvements to the retaining wall, the parking lot, and the sidewalks. We continue to see adult softball programs grow, with over 3,000 participants across 287 teams in the spring, summer, and fall leagues. And if the residents so choose to remove the Hensley Park designation, we will have a potential to have a brand new Hensley Park, which will be state-of-the-art and further accommodate our softball as well as disc golf, including playgrounds and multiple covered pavilions. The Gregg County Master Gardeners have partnered with Mod Cobb to completely renovate the plantings at the J.R. Curtis Memorial Garden for the Blind. The city has completed construction on the restrooms and the pavilions at the Rodeo Arena at Mod Cobb Convention and Activity Complex, and an extension was added to the Agricultural Pavilion in partnership with the Harvest Festival. Let's shift gears to a few things we're working on right now. The animal shelter. Our new animal shelter construction is underway with an estimated completion date of April of 2016. This construction for this project was funded in part by City of Longview at $2.5 million, Gregg County at $2.5 million, and private donations equaling more than $1 million. A manager has been hired and will start in a few weeks. But this will require continued community support to increase adoption rates, as well as funding for the ongoing maintenance and operation of this facility. I want to talk about our budget for just a second. It's not an aside, but I want to talk about it. This year, we just accepted a $160 million plus budget for City of Longview. That's $7 million less than last year. But included in that budget is a police pay increase, the funding of the animal shelter, as well as projects including the comprehensive plan, and a 3% across-the-board pay raise for all employees of City of Longview. We are looking after your money every single day. Public safety. This is our #1 focus right now, as we all understand. We've had a difficult year of violence in Longview. We must be willing to address this as a community. I have full confidence in our new police chief, Mike Bishop, and in our sheriff, Maxie Solariano. Chief Bishop has his roots grounded in the concept of community policing. And you might ask, what is community policing? We have what we call PAR officers, police area representatives. They go through neighborhoods. They go door to door in a grassroots effort to bring the community together, to get involved, to understand what's going on, to know their neighbors, and to bring trust and open communications with the community. We have community watch parties. I don't know if any of y'all went last night, but we had over 100 neighborhood watch parties last night as part of our National Night Out, and it was amazing to see the energy within these communities and the way these neighbors came together. And it was very humbling to me to be invited to some of these parties and to get to see the interaction and the joy involved with these neighbors looking after each other. We host citizen police academies, including a Spanish language class. We have increased patrols in known crime areas. Our officers are increasing their presence in areas where known drug and gang problems exist. We have increased police visibility in the gang areas, focusing on lawful detentions. We have heightened our focus on eliminating gangs and drug activity plaguing our community. Longview, we have a gang and a drug problem. But understand, the majority of our violent homicides this year are related to gang and drug activity. They feed off fear and intimidation tactics. But understand, this is just a handful of people. This is not an army we're fighting against. We are identifying these people, these gangs. We're flushing them out. Since the LPD made several key arrests last week, we have noticeably been more quiet in Longview, and that will continue because we are not through yet. We do recognize the problems associated with our activities in Longview at this point. We're focusing on neighborhood revitalization. Code enforcement sweeps in both West and South Longview are focusing on cleaning up blighted neighborhoods, increasing community pride, to be less inviting to criminal activity. We're encouraging neighbors to report these code violations, suspicious activity, high grass, litter, junk, all those things breed things that we don't want in our neighborhoods. We're increasing citizen education. We're encouraging citizens to report these suspicious activities. We're communicating ways to contact our Crime Stoppers, our PAR officers, and through social media. We even have an app called CitySend. Put it on your phone. It allows you to download and to contact and communicate with the city instantly about things that you see that might need addressing, such as suspicious activity in neighborhoods. It's a way to communicate instantly with the City of Longview. We're recruiting new officers to have a full police force of 172 officers. We have updated pay to be equivalent to market standards. We're recruiting new cadets from area academies, colleges, and job fairs. We're trying to retain our seasoned officers and tenured and well-trained officers into our community. And we know this works. You all know this works. I'd like to ask a show of hands, but don't, because all of y'all will raise your hands. You all know who Radar was. Radar was our motorcycle policeman that when you saw him on the streets, you knew no matter what or who you are, if you broke the law, he was pulling you over and he was going to be so nice as he gave you that ticket. But he was going to give you a ticket every single time. That's what we need. We need that recognition where we have our police officers on the streets, in the beats, in the neighborhoods, where you recognize them. Because when you recognize them, guess who else recognizes them? The criminals. And this is how we're going to eliminate the problems we have in Longview. But we must keep our officers around. To do that, we have to pay them adequately to want them to stay here. They have to want to be here, and we have to want them to be here. We're trying to retain all these existing officers. Currently, we have 14% of our police force that's eligible for retirement. We want them to be encouraged to stick around and stay in Longview and continue to work. We don't want to be replacing officers year after year after year. Let's talk about a few demographics of Longview. Most of you probably know these things, but they're important to know about our city. Our population is roughly 81,500. Our ethnicity, white, 55.7. Black African American, 22.2%. Hispanic Latino, 18.9%, and other, 3.2%. That's our makeup in our community. It's interesting to know that from 2000 to 2010, our Hispanic and Latino population has almost doubled. In our area, we have an unemployment rate of 5.1% as of July 2015. It's been steadily increasing from 3.8% in December 2014, which was a 7-year low. But comparatively nationally, our unemployment rate is 5.3% as of 2015. Our median household income, $54,183. Poverty level of 16.2% in 2014, down from 17.2%. The Texas poverty levels are at 17.2%. We do have a poverty conference. I want to commend our Junior League of Longview for organizing this poverty conference scheduled for October the 15th. This is a collaborative educational event which involves many area agencies working together to discuss the crisis facing our youth and what we can do to save our children and revitalize our community. This is a great way for our community to learn about tangible ways that we can create and combat poverty. In looking at our economy, we have a stable property tax. Even as the prices of oil and gas have fallen, Longview's overall property values have remained stable. We have only a small portion of our Longview property tax revenues that are oil and gas based. But we do have a slumping sales tax. This is very concerning. Our sliding sales tax shows evidence of a slower local economy. Our sales tax has been down $560,000, which is 2.5%, but it was down $300,000 in September alone. So we've seen this downward trend. We have to find ways to reverse this downward trend of our sales tax. This is why we're encouraging you all to shop local, to support our community. We're doing that within the city. I've asked the purchasing department to try to purchase as many products as they can from local vendors, because we're going to do our part as the city staff. We want you to do your part as our residents. We're fortunate to have an expanding economy and development. We continue to see growth in new hotels, new restaurants, new businesses, and residential developments. This development will not occur without our amazing city staff who have embraced a customer service attitude with developers in town. We have the Hilton Garden Inn and Conference Center that's set to open in the fall in the intersection of Hawkins and 4th Street. We have new hotels being built behind Sam's currently. We have the Buckner $6 million Mack and Tom Stone Family Place campus on High Street to feature apartments, transitional housing for single parents, and a family hope center. We have the Longview World of Wonders, which is closing in on completion of their children's museum downtown. This first event in the facility was held in September, and it welcomed a huge crowd of families. We have new restaurants. We have Copeland's. We have BJ's coming. We have On the Border, Bubba's 33, Lone Star Ice House, the new microbrewery downtown, and a new downtown wine place called Pozzo Vino, and several restaurants opening on the Loop coming soon. We have a new family indoor fun facility at Lear Park that will have restaurants, entertainment, and an arcade. We have the possibility of having a new Kroger marketplace as well, if the voters so desire. and retail development going on the 4th Street extension. We are on the move, Longview. I want you to move with us. As we forge ahead and look to our future, we're focusing on LEDCO and economic development perspectives. There are 2 philosophies on economic development. One that believes economic development is fostered through offering corporate financial incentives to create jobs, and another that includes spurring economic development by investing in our community, funding projects that we can all enjoy, such as trails, parks, entertainment venues, which will attract other industries to move to Longview. I want to use a combination of both of these philosophies to grow our economy and to make Longview better. The LEDCO board has already begun actively recruiting companies and investors through their extensive network to considering relocation here in Longview. Developers are looking at possibly opening a new water park in Longview. This came about because of a survey we posted. They caught wind of it, and now they're looking to Longview to potentially bring a water park here. Funding the comprehensive plan. As I see it, we can fund our wonderful ideas in Longview from a comprehensive plan in 3 ways. We can raise taxes, which nobody wants. We can sell bonds, which we'd rather not. Or we can utilize some of our funds set aside for economic development, which can only be utilized for 4B designated projects, including infrastructure, public safety, and quality of life issues. I would like to see your LEDCO board utilize a portion of these funds to enhance Longview in these ways as you have requested per the comprehensive plan. Completing Lear Park. This is a very important aspect because Lear Park has an average economic impact of $12.4 million in our community every year. It's the only project I know that has paid for itself 10 times over in our community. An event center. I would like to see this can come to fruition at some point in time with partnerships with the Gregg County and Longview partnerships. Downtown development. We want to continue to see downtown develop into an urban atmosphere. We want to attract people to our downtown area because if a downtown dies, so goes the city. This is an exciting time for Longview, and we want you to get involved. How can you do that? Mayor Mack's Challenge. What is that? For a few months now, residents have been asking me, what can we do to get involved, to help the community? And so we issued a challenge to bring water bottles, sports drinks, CO2 and smoke detectors, car seats to the police and fire departments, to drop them off at any location, and they will use those to distribute to our community. We've had an overwhelming response to that. It's been phenomenal to see how you all have picked up on this and helped our community. Don't worry, a holiday challenge is coming soon. I've been asking you to give me feedback by partaking on online surveys. For example, here are some of the surveys we've had over the last few months. The biggest hurdle that keeps Longview from volunteering, these are our choices, and you said, we just don't know where to start. So you know what we're doing? We're making it easier for you to know where to start. If you want to volunteer in Longview, we're going to make it where you can volunteer at any point in time you want to. What would you like to most see in Longview? Look at that 45% said water park. 3 different water park companies have contacted us about wanting to bring a water park to Longview because this is what you say you want. So these surveys have, I know they seem kind of trite, but they have benefit and people take notice of these things. We also have a current survey up on my Facebook page right now. Please take the time to go and answer that survey. How else can you get involved? Let's talk about the Go Giver Initiative. How did this come about? A good friend of mine gave me this book, and she said, you should read this book while you're on vacation. I said, you know what? That's not the kind of book I want to read when I'm on vacation. But I did it. And when I did, I realized what an impact that book had on how I looked at myself. And I thought, wow, you know what? We can use that at the City of Longview because we're in the customer service business. This is what we do. So we can provide better customer service if we'll just apply these few little principles of this book. So I thought, wow, I'm going to give it to each department at the City of Longview and let them read it, and let's see what we can do, how we can change our attitudes. And then I was encouraged to not stop there. Let's include the entire city. And that's what we did. We included the entire city in this book club. And you know what? The response has been amazing. Every Monday night at 7 o'clock, we meet online on my Facebook page, and we talk about this book. And it's been overwhelming to me to see the response of the community involved in something so simple. It's an opportunity for residents to get involved and turn their focus outward towards our community. And that's what we should all be doing. The Go-Giver has 5 laws of stratospheric success: value, compensation, influence, authenticity, and receptivity. We have a short video to show you kind of what we're doing on this Monday night. Hey guys, I'm ready to kick off this book club. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey. I want to share with you things that really impacted me from the book. So let's get started. I love so much this segment from page 11. I believe that a person can reach a certain level of success without being particularly special. But to get really, really big, to reach the kind of stratospheric success we're talking about, people need to have something on the inside, something that's genuine. Longview, what I want for us is stratospheric success. And I believe we aren't going to get there until we start seeking opportunities to genuinely give of ourselves to our friends and neighbors in this community. So let's get started. It's time to be all in and be a go-giver. And as you can see, this little concept has grown, and we've received national attention over this book. We're on these, I don't even know what a blog is, but we're on blogs all over the country. People are contacting us about our town and what we're doing in Longview, and so we can make a difference. And unbeknownst to me, with Bob Berg being on earlier, I did have the chance to interview him, and it was a fantastic interview with a guy that just, you can see how energetic he is, but for him to take the time to sit down with an interview with me over a book is just, it just shows how this thing can grab hold and it can take us places that we haven't been in a while. These are some things he said in our interview. It was very enlightening to visit with that gentleman. Okay, so how does that really translate? Let me just give you one example. We have some wonderful go-givers in this community. We have set up a go-giver fund. And the reason we've done that is because last week, I was contacted by a resident of Longview, a very generous resident of Longview, that said, Andy, I read your book, and I joined your book club, and that kind of blew me away. He doesn't seem like the book club kind of guy, like I'm really not a book club kind of guy, but he said, I read the book, and I was very touched, and I want to do something. I want to be a go-giver. And I didn't know how I was going to do that, but I was having lunch, and it came to me. He said, I'm going to give you the authority to fund body cameras for every policeman and sheriff's deputy in the city of Longview. And whatever it takes, I'm going to take care of that. Ladies and gentlemen, that is an amazing donation for our community because of a book. I mean, think about it. Who would have thought a book would have something to do with public safety? I never would have. But this encourages our police officers. This gives them a level of protection and safety. And it encourages our citizens to know that there will be accountability, and we're trying to build that trust with the community. So I applaud this gentleman for his donation, and I ask you to join in what he's doing. And let's give to our community so that we can all be go-givers. We're having a partnership of the Go-Giver Book Club with Newgate Mission. Upon completion of our book club on November 16th, I'll be asking all of the residents of Longview who participated to donate their books to Newgate. We're going to have a book club for the folks there. I'm encouraging all of our council members to participate in the leading of the study. It'll be a 5-week session, and I think it will be very good for all of our community to be involved. So let's be all in, let's be go-givers. As we move forward, my commitment to you is this: to always communicate with you honestly, openly, and with transparency. To listen to what you have to say. And I'm doing that actively through my Facebook page, which you can find at Andy Mack, and also through my online surveys found on Facebook, which are usually conducted every other week. To share my thoughts with you via my letters to Longview that the News Journal so kindly publishes, and online on my Facebook page. To give you all of my time that you need to make Longview the best city it can be. To serve you as diligently and as long as you're willing to have me. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for participating in the future of our city. I look forward to bringing you an even better State of the City address next year, We have a bright future ahead of us, Longview. So Longview, study hard, have some fun, say your prayers.